Early in the week, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation warned that there will be zero remittances to the Federation account for April to June 2021, so it can continue to ensure the continuous supply of petroleum products to the nation and guarantee energy security. This will mean lower revenue allocations for states in May. NNPC's FAC account contributions have been declining on the back of rising crude oil revenues, which translates to higher cost for maintaining fuel subsidy, which the corporation says gulps over 100 billion naira monthly.
Well, with us to break this down is an accountant and business journalist who has written extensively on fiscal and economic issues. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Lekan Sote, who is in our Lagos studio there. Well, help us understand what are the potential implications of NNPC not making any remittances to the federal government?
Thank you, Ngozi, for having me on your program today. Well, first, the obvious implication is that funding for governance, what government does with money, is going to be limited. It means then that, as the letter from the NNPC hinted, there will be less money available through FAC for the state governments as well as the federal government itself. I think that's our first, my first response to that. I'm sure you have other questions to ask me.
We know NNPC is indeed getting the best terms as the sole importer of products. Many believe the entire process is riddled with leakages. So how do we know they're getting the best?
Well, you and I know that there's something, when you have a monopoly, it means that one group or one entity is selling a product. When you have a monopoly and you have one organization, one entity buying the products, there's no competitiveness, there's no competition. Therefore, it is obvious that there is whatever we are doing, there's some kind of cloak of secrecy in it. I'm not sure that NNPC has been audited in the last several years. So that tells you right there that we have issues, Nobody can quite tell you exactly what is happening in NNPC. Hey, Kade, let's just think about this. An organization is spending money and is not producing anything. That tells you right there that something is clearly wrong.
What would you say then, Lekan Sote, is wrong, and where are those leakages, and how would you say that these leakages need to be plugged?
Well, I'm going to give you what might sound like a radical response to that. You say, how would NNPC be using money from upstream, revenue to take care of the refineries, that are essentially going to be selling, petroleum products? What I'm trying to say is this. You set up four refineries and they are not functioning at all. And you are spending money on personnel. You are spending money on salaries. You are spending money on maintenance of their facilities. You are spending money on turnaround maintenance. About a month ago or thereabout, they were told that they are going to spend about $1.5 billion for some kind of repairs, which is going to extend for another 3-4 years. It tells you right there that somebody is not ready to be accountable. So those are some of the things. How can you maintain people who are not working? Because if you are running a company and it's not productive, how do you continue to retain people and be paying them like a sinecure? I think that's something that we need to deal with very quickly and be radical about it.
Okay, along the lines of what you just said now, a lot of people are asking the question, NNPC's decision to deduct expenses before remittance to FAC, is that legal? Is it something that can be justified?
Well, the Fiscal Responsibility Act requires GOEs, government-owned enterprises, to and of course, then you have the TSA, Treasury Single Account, which requires them to ask for permission, shall we say, before they can spend money. But you and I know that, the GOEs, essentially their budget per year to start with is bigger than the normal budget that we are already talking about. And the requirement is that the Minister of Finance simply goes to the National Assembly and informs them, and then that is how the money will be spent. So I think we need to get the Responsibility Act provisions, have some kind of teeth, let it be workable, rather than just have it in the books and nobody is enforcing it. What is the Office of the Accountant General doing? What is the Office of the Auditor General doing? And then if EFCC needs to talk to somebody in NNPC, let them go and talk to them and find out, are they doing some of these things right? Don't we have forensic auditing? Isn't somebody going to be talking to NNPC and find out how they are spending the money? How would you have an organization as big as NNPC and it is not accountable to the people? Something is wrong.
Question,
something is terribly wrong.
Begging for answers there. Let's even stay on this NNPC remittances. Normally, the NNPC earns dollars, but remits in naira. Help us understand why, and should that even be happening in the first place?
I remember my friend, the late Henry Boyo, was saying that, if federal government earns dollars, and has the FAC meeting every month, why not just give dollars to the states? Because you and I know that there are two major factors that are critical to the economy of Nigeria. One, exchange rate, or the dollar or foreign exchange, if you like, as well as the oil, and both of them are tied together. Well, essentially, what it means, maybe we are going to be going to Economics 101 now, which simply means that when you make dollars, since you spend naira within your country, you are going to have to, shall we say, produce your naira equivalent of the dollars that you have earned, so that you can spend your naira within your country. And then somebody keeps the money abroad, and then and then begins to trade it. It's a lot of funny things is going on. You and I know that the dollar, the CBN has several rates of selling the dollars, if you like, and something is wrong with that. Some people are taking advantage. I understand. I don't know how far that is true. That some people just love to keep the system the way it is, so that they can keep exploiting the system. Question: why don't we just give the dollars to? After all, people are sending dollars anyway, spending dollars within Nigeria anyway. People are paying some rent in Ikoyi, for example, in dollars. So why don't we just, arrange and give the dollars to the governments, the state governments, and the federal government, who are who are beneficiaries of what you get from the monthly FAC. There's nothing wrong in that.
Lekan, we have less than 30 seconds. What really should the states be doing now? Is this an opportunity that they can actually take to begin to think outside of the box? In 20 seconds, if you can.
Well, 20 seconds. Well, quickly, the states should get more serious. But what we need, the states cannot be serious unless we look at this constitution that constricts them. Practically everything goes to the federal government. It used to be that the states will remit money to the federal government. But now these days, the federal government takes the money. Think about it. Somebody buys broom from Akwa Ibom and takes it to Abuja and then brings it back to Akwa Ibom. That is how ridiculous the system that we are running right now is.